Back here on the party,
Yes,
we're here
we are.
with Dodgeband, who we just heard, with the song Bible Camp, the first song off their album, In Cahoots.
Indeed.
How you guys doing tonight?
Pretty great.
Swell.
Swell.
So do you guys want to just introduce yourself and just, I guess, say what you do in the band?
Well, you should probably go first, considering the namesake.
Shit. My name is Tim Dodge, and I play guitar in the band.
You also say
I sing. I try to sing.
I'm Brad Pretty. I play guitar and I dance around a lot. And there's two other members of the band that aren't here. Leon White, who plays bass, and our drummer Chris Donnelly. And you may know them from every band that plays downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you guys draw straws to see who you'd named the band after?
No,
Or-
he's had it on the go for, wow.
It's kind of like I went through a lot of names before we settled on that. It's just what people started calling the band. You know, and people start calling the band something, then it's just as well to call it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there's
sure.
been like I've been around. It's pretty much been my friends in the band the whole time, and it eventually worked its way up to me being in the band. It's gone through like many different iterations, but now I think it's like the most evolved, polished version of it for sure.
I'm the only original member.
Yeah.
Cool. So do you, how did it all, I guess, start?
It all started at Turner's, I suppose, Turner's Tavern, which was a great spot down at the end of Water Street, which helped get like a lot of just people playing music and playing bands and starting bands and playing shows and stuff like that. So I guess it all started there, and we just kind of made our way up towards George Street, and now we're at the Levee on the deck, and CBTG's on the deck, Distortion on the deck. Great spot for live music in the city. Great
There's
spot.
a lot of really good bands right now. I think like the scene, I've seen it progress, and it's definitely it's at a pinnacle compared to any point I've seen before. So it's nice. It's nice to be part of like a nice constructive scene.
Sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
I know you were. Would you like to play another song off their
It's
record,
all good.
Warren?
We shall. We shall play another song off the
Sounds
record.
good.
This is Small Talk and Chance Encounters. That was Small Talk and Chance Encounters by Dodgeband.
Yes, it was.
And speaking of Dodgeband, we have them here in studio.
Yes, we do. So you mentioned just before we brought down the in-studio microphones that the song is about fairies.
About ferry rides, yeah.
Very good. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, one time I was coming back from Halifax for an operation, and took the 14-hour lovely ferry ride to Argentia, and the whole while on the ferry ride I was sat in the back of the ferry, and it was just me back there, and there was a daughter and her father, and they both had violins, and they played like the whole time on the back.
Wow.
So and you know, and you've talked to some dandy characters on the ferry, so that's kind of what it's about. Small talk and chance encounters and beautiful things.
Cool. So evidently we are listening to some of your recordings. When did this album come out?
Well, we started working on it in June, and we put it out in August.
Cool.
Yeah, we recorded with Georgie Newman.
G&A Audio.
GN Audio, and he's the sound guy at the Levee. He just got silver in the Scope for best sound guy in the city, so that's really nice. And he's put out a lot of really good products lately, like the Glenda's album he recorded, and
Green and Gold.
and there's a bunch of other stuff
He's
coming
going
up.
to be working
now.
on the Bridges album soon.
So tons of stuff on the go, but I think he really captured what we were going for. It totally has that 90s rock vibe, but it still has that big, I don't know, spacey influence that we were going for as well. So we're pretty happy with it, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
Yeah.
Are you guys inspired by anybody? Like any other bands or any other people?
Inspired. Well, you know, there's a lot of influences for sure in our music, and you can definitely tell, like I just said, there's a big 90s rock influence. Everybody in the band, and I think everybody who's come through the band, grew up with that, you know, the grunge and everything like that. But we kind of got into different stuff later on, like into different hardcore stuff and space rock, post-rock stuff. So you can totally see that it's a big plethora of influences just coming together.
My first musical influence was that record on Size Small with the Spoons.
The what?
Yeah, nobody's seen that.
Nobody? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Giant record man with the Spoons. He was always on time, steady. He was the backbone of that show.
I remember purchasing Backstreet Boys records when I was like 6 years old. I can't believe I just said that on the air. In fact, okay, most shameful thing I've ever done in my life. So I was like maybe 8 years old or so, and I think my parents were trying to like push me into like more legitimate rock music because that's what my older cousins and stuff were into, and they asked them what they should get me for Christmas. So they bought me Smashing Pumpkins' Siamese Dream album. And I was like, what's this? This is just noise. I don't like it at all. And I traded it to my older cousin who thought I was a fool for doing this for the Bad Boys 2 soundtrack. So I'm glad that I eventually smartened up and came around to love Siamese Dream, but at the time it seemed like a good idea. So never trust your 8-year-old self.
Yeah.
So you were shaking your tail feather at that one, eh?
I was, yeah. Apparently so.
Oh my.
What is the first? I don't know how old you are. Like cassette or CD or
I had
record.
cassettes.
The first one that you ever bought.
I
by
had 8
yourself.
tracks, but
Yeah, he's
All right.
Mr. Timothy Dodge is a little bit older. I'm 26. I've been kicking around Mun for way too long. So yeah, when I grew up, I remember cassettes. I remember 8 tracks being like an antiquated thing at that point. But yeah. Ace of Base tapes. I think everybody had Ace of Base tapes. So
I can remember the first time I seen Smells Like Teen Spirit. I can remember when that first came out on Much Music.
really,
Oh yeah, man! It was all Technotronic and Spin That Wheel and New Kids on the Block, and then it was just like, and everything changed, and it was awesome.
I remember having Bon Jovi's "Slippery and Wet." That tape
I had that
when I was a
album,
kid.
I did lip sync "Living on a Prayer" in the gym when you're at the talent show. Oh, it rocked out.
I'm gonna hold you to a reunion show on that.
Oh.
Sometime.
I got to do "Born to Be My Baby."
Blaze of Glory is what we gotta do.
We could do that.
I think so.
I think so.
All right, with that said, let's hear another Dodgeband track. This
Sounds
is
good.
the title track, In Cahoots. And we are back here on The Party on CHMR. I'm your host, Warren Gordon.
And I am Swag Daddy Skeins.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
I want a name. That's fun.
I knew it was coming.
You should give all your guests like just cool nicknames.
Yeah, you should right
There you
on
go.
top. Like, I want one now. Like, I'm really like on the spot. Like, I want one. Come on.
You can take Tara's and be YOLO Mama.
YOLO.
YOLO Mama Dodge.
YOLO Mama Dodge. I'm down. I'll take that.
YOLO Mama Dodge.
Tattoo it across
I
my
love
face.
it. YOLO Mama Dodge.
What it is.
Whoop, there it is.
So back to music. Even though they would make fabulous rap names.
Yeah.
My rap name is DJ Wildcard.
Very good.
Wow.
Alter ego all the way.
Yeah, we just heard some Glenda's there with marionettes, and you guys
Yes, we
were
did.
saying that you're great friends with those guys.
Yeah, I love the Glendas.
Heterosexual life mates.
I think so.
I think
I think
so.
they're each other's heterosexual life mates.
They make great little spoons.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Both
For
of them.
further reference.
Oh my god. Those boys. Them boys.
I bet you're the right soft.
I
I bet
oh,
you. Yeah.
Tender.
Tesla, they're definitely great
You
lovers.
feel the love.
Gotta be.
You
Yeah.
feel it. It exudes.
And they can serenade you
They can.
with harmonies.
Harmonies.
Yeah.
You guys would make great like profile writers for like Match.com.
Oh, man. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Already at it.
I was thinking about writing sci-fi erotica, actually.
Nice.
It seems like it's just a market waiting to be touched. So.
Oh, but it is already a market. That's
Double entendre.
That's a scary thing.
Yeah, I know, right? I think it's my future career path.
I'm feeling it.
But yeah, back on the Glendas. I should stop calling it
Glendas.
sci-fi erotica.
They're smooth. Two smooth dudes.
They are two smooth dudes.
With the exception of the beards.
I think their tagline on their Bandcamp is two little what is it? Two little dudes make big music or something.
Yeah.
That's totally what the case is.
Yeah.
The Glendas should be the biggest band ever.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
I will wave their flag forever.
Yes, indeed. And
Until they have me in their band.
They're the ones that recorded in the back of a car, right?
yes,
Yes, for RPM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those boys
That's
are
so cool.
sick.
That was those guys.
Great dudes too, good fellas.
Yeah, and Georgie Newman from Gian Audio did that album as well.
Yeah.
And he's about to do the Bridges album, like we said earlier. So another bunch of really good dudes.
Yeah.
This
I
is-
would like to take this opportunity to profess my love for Brendan Phillips. He is another smooth man.
Benito Felipe.
I feel the love here tonight.
Feeling it.
There's a lot-
Feeling
There's
it.
so much bro love going on in our local band scene right now. It is insane. All of us just, whenever we see each other, we hug everybody and we're like, "Oh, I love you. You played such a good set." And
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Tonight
good,
we're
though.
building a blanket fort, and we're all just gonna chill out in there.
oh man, let's actually
Watch
build a blanket
Child's Play
fort.
movies. I already got it built, man.
Do you
I
really?
built one last night.
Did you build a blanket
I built
fort?
a blanket fort last
Why
night.
didn't I know that you built a blanket
It was
fort?
wicked.
Can we hook up an
We
N64?
watched the Puppet Master movies, man. It was awesome.
Oh my god, we gotta play Goldeneye all day tomorrow in a blanket fort.
64 is at the bar, though. Blanket fort at the bar.
Let's do it.
All right.
That's what we were talking about during the break. How it seems like almost everybody in the Newfoundland music scene are so like inclusive. It's like we hear about anybody that we have on the show from somebody else. They're always tooting each other's horn.
Yeah, we were. It's like it now more so than ever before. And I've been kicking around the scene for a little bit, and there was always a bunch of really good bands, but there was sort of a disconnect to some degree. But now it's like, as I'm saying, it's really cohesive, and everybody supports each other, and they're constantly, like you said, tooting each other's horns.
Yeah.
So, I will gladly list off, like, there's probably 10 to 15 bands in the city that I think everybody should watch. So
Yeah.
And I think that there's those 10, 15 bands in the city are just as good as any bands anywhere else. So it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy, gotta say. We're a saturated little place for being a little
Right under your nose, St. John's. Right
know.
there, by.
It's geography. I
Go
think
up another 20 feet up the street.
right.
It's another 20 feet up the street, man.
Yeah.
About Jungle Gyms.
Man, get away from George Street for a bit and go
Promise
see some
you won't
bands.
hear wagging.
If you're just listening to this in your car, driving around Munn somewhere, and you're planning on going down to the street and having a few little White Russians at Lottie's or whatever, what you should do is you should move up the street. I don't know, what is it?
It's 50, 60 feet.
Yeah, and
something.
go to Levy, go to Distortion, go to CV's, anywhere. I don't really care, whatever you're into, and watch some bands.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good bands.
Yeah. Watch some bands. Like, there's people doing it here. I swear to God, it's not a myth.
No, and it's crazy. I think the only reason that St. John's is not really regarded as such a music hotbed is geography, and the fact that there's many. It's prohibitive because of cost, I think, more than anything else.
There's
Well,
also
I'm
sorry.
sorry, no, go ahead.
There's also like a kind of a weird stereotype that the only music you're going to hear downtown is Irish music. And although we do have
yeah.
good Irish
It's
music,
great. There's so many good Irish bands, and even like there's Irish bands that don't play, or that they do play, like your O'Reillys and stuff, but they also play over to the other bars and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's the Rogues and there's the Pints and there's all these, and they're a little bit more infused with rock music. But these are solid bands. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
It comes in all forms, I think.
Yeah, but there's more than just that, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like, I mean, we have a really strong scene for almost anything that you want to hear.
You could
Yeah.
go down to the street anywhere downtown and on any night of the week and come out of there watching with a great live music performance that if you were in Montreal or Toronto or something like that, you would be paying $30 or $40 for every night. So it's just crazy how like it's not regarded at all and how hard it is to get off the ground in St. John's.
And then we're such a small city, it's hard to like boast yourself or whatever without sounding pretentious, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally.
It's hard to bill yourself, be like, yeah, we're half decent.
Yeah, I
But
think-
you got a band, thinks you're hot stuff, do you?
Yeah. Oh, I think the friend thing that we've been at too, like we're big supporters of everybody, and I think that's come a long way now. I think it's a little bit more out there than ever before. Like I noticed that like the crowds have gotten bigger and stuff like that. For especially the Green and Gold show, I've been at Green and Gold shows on a Tuesday night that had like 70 people in the bar. So
Yeah. The whole clique mentality is
Yeah.
disappearing.
Exactly.
And it's becoming the community, which is what it should be, man.
Exactly.
It's music, like, come on.